It's a beautiful day in Frankfort, Kentucky, but things may be changed this weekend for Kentucky State University baseball in their series against Urbana. The games on Saturday have been moved to Friday to 12-3, but on Sunday everything stays the same. It's the same today as we've done in the past. We are now being joined by the head coach of Kentucky State University baseball, Coach Rob Henry. Coach, unfortunately, the weather's not going to be our friend this weekend, but for the time being, it's really nice for practice.
Absolutely. And I should have a great day of practice today. We'll be out here at 3 o'clock getting after it again. And, guys are in good spirits after the weekend we had. So excited about getting ready this week.
You look at this past weekend, you dropped all 3 games of the West Virginia State series, but there were some positives that you caught, and you and I discussed at the end of it. What have you seen this week from your team following that series?
Our spirits are getting better. Guys understand that we were in a couple of those games. We were very close. Just a play here or there could have gone other way and made the difference, like we've been in a lot of games this year. And we talked to our guys a lot this week about the process. Believing in what we're doing here, working in our game, continuing to develop. And you don't want to rely too much on the concept of getting better, because as coaches you talk about that being a crutch a little bit. Sometimes you feel like you're not getting your best, but you're just satisfied with getting better. Which is kind of a hard to define term, but there's some ways we can quantify it. And it's good to see us come back out and work really hard this week, and we're excited about this weekend and the challenge ahead of us.
Now, there's one thing that I've been wanting to talk to you about, and now that we're 20 games into the season, we're about a third of the way through the regular season. The pitching staff,
right? The
rotation, the bullpen. Well, I think a lot of people forget sometimes when it comes to this level of baseball, the collegiate level, is sometimes it's hard to find good arms.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find guys who know how to pitch rather than just throw.
Right.
So you look at what you have this year. Josh Dunn has shored up his spot as the ace of this rotation,
Absolutely.
of this staff. But beyond Josh, what are you looking at from what we have on this roster?
Well, we've had guys give us individual good starts. Josh Owsley had a great start against Voorhees. Che Butler had a great start against Lincoln Memorial. Joe Crisp had a really good start against Voorhees after he struggled early. You had, Connor Kelly's had a couple of really good starts. And then he had a bit of a stinker this past weekend. And our pitching's been very inconsistent so far. But, we're trying to figure out our roles. And the good thing that I've seen out of guys lately is they're coming in and asking, Coach, what do we need to do to improve? What do we need to do to get better? And we've really made it a priority to work hard in our routines, and we're still trying to define ourselves a little bit as a pitching staff. We've got some guys who are really working hard at it. And I believe I said it after the first weekend, our pitching was going to get better because we've got guys who are invested in improving, and they still are. They're still working extremely hard at it. And, we've got 4 chances for 4 different starts this weekend. Josh Dunn and Connor Kelly will have the ball tomorrow. And then, we're looking at who we use tomorrow in relief to see who we're going to use on Sunday.
How does that play a role? Because a lot of people that are baseball fans, like you have your starters, then you have your bullpen guys. It's not the same here, though. I mean, you have guys who can start, but you will also use them out of the pen. How does that work, and how do you kind of differentiate and balance the two?
Well, what's happened is most of the players who come out of high school are used to a certain role. Most of them are starters, and when you get onto a college coaching staff, not everybody can be a starter. You've got 12 pitchers who are all starters in high school. They can't all be starters at the college level. So you've got to use a lot of different ways to figure out what's going to be their best role. Some guys are good throwing back-to-back days. Some guys, once they pick up a baseball and they throw it with any intent off the mound, then they've got to be shut down for 5 days. So there's some factors based on their individual performance ability. There's some factors based on what the team needs. There's some factors based on things like their stuff. They go into what we're still trying to figure out.
Now, as Coach mentioned, and as I mentioned earlier, things have changed for this weekend in the series against Urbana. KSU will play here tomorrow at home on Friday. First pitch is at noon for a doubleheader. Saturday has basically been more or less canceled with that move to Friday because of the weather coming into the Central Kentucky area. Sunday, as of now, is still a go for 12-3. We hope to see you here this weekend at Kentucky State University. For Coach Rob Henry, I'm Eric Matthews for the Thoroughbred Sports Network.